Federal government terminates Obajana bidding road contracts with 3 firms for non-performance. Federal High Court dismisses Nnamdi Kanu's human rights suit against federal government. Nigerian Air Force refutes helicopter crash in Kaduna, confirms an unmanned aerial vehicle crashed after takeoff. Hello and welcome to the news at 11 on NTA NEWS24. We are live in Abuja. I am Charles Alpha. As part of continuous efforts by FCT administration in providing infrastructure and transforming FCT to a befitting nation's capital, the Speaker House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, at the flag of the bus terminal of Sector Center A, B15 on the Mabushi district, says it will provide job opportunities for FCT residents as well as Nigerians. Aisha Bali has the details.
Conclusion of road project, the FCT minister has commenced the second leg of inauguration exercise in the FCT. The bus terminal, among others, will consist of green areas, pedestrian walkways, ticketing booths, and retail shops, among others. Wike says the administration is working to ensure that the Abuja master plan is restored and maintained, as this opportunity FCT is getting is in line with Renewed Hope initiative.
Now, one of the things we do understand about the Renewed Hope agenda is not just about human capital development. It also has to do with empowerment of our people. Under the Renewed Hope agenda, Mr. President, you say you must encourage our local people who have the capacity to also deliver.
While the Speaker House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, acknowledged the good works the FCT administration has been doing and assuring of the support of the legislature.
The construction of the Mabushi bus terminal is a critical step towards enhancing transportation infrastructure in the FCT and ensuring that residents can commute safely and efficiently.
The Mabushi bus terminal, according to the minister, is going to be a world-class terminal, as the Kubo bus terminal along Kefi Abuja Road is next to be flagged off. In Abuja, Aisha Uba-Ali, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Works says it has terminated contract number 6136, 6137 and 6138 with Mother Carts Limited, Dantata and Sawa Construction Limited and RCC Limited. A statement by Special Advisor on Media to the Minister of Works, Orji Uchenna Orji, indicates that the projects affected include dualization of Obajana Benin Road Section 2, 3 and 4. The ministry says the termination of the said contract is in view of inordinate delay of the affected companies in job performance and their failure, neglect and or refusal to fulfill their contractual obligations, resulting in the expiration of the contracts and exposing road users to untold hardship since 2012 when they were awarded. The statement says the Minister of Works has directed the engineers in charge to take necessary steps to enter upon both the site and the works and take them over from the affected companies after conducting an assessment of the work done so far. The first ordinary session of the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament is underway in Abuja. The formal opening session issues of regional integration and disastrous consequences of withdrawal of 3 member states took center stage in the face of regional challenges. Our correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
First ordinary session of the Community Parliament is dedicated to the unity of member states addressing the regional problems of terrorism, trafficking and climate change.
We must all bear in mind that our people's rights to self-determination requires that we respect their choice which is the expression of their deepest aspirations.
It is our considered view that we need to use the opportunity to take stock of our progress and challenges over the past 50 years and draw the lessons for the future.
The challenges we face are not insurmountable. With unity, innovation, and unwavering belief in our shared destiny, we can transform our collective aspirations into enduring achievements.
The impact of climate change and bad governance have remained serious impediments to the peace, security, and economic development of our sub-region.
I can assure you that the court remains available to provide whatever support that is necessary in furtherance of this and other initiatives that will preoccupy the members during the 6th legislature.
Other issues during the session were the consideration and adoption of the draft agenda and draft work program of standing, joint and ad hoc committee, as well as draft report of the extraordinary session held in Kano. Also, at the opening of the session to last for 3 weeks, Nigeria's Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu was sworn in as member of the 6th Parliament. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The Federal High Court Abuja Division has dismissed the fundamental human rights suits filed by the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, against the federal government. The presiding judge, Justice James Omotosho, gave the order this Monday in Abuja. Nnamdi Kanu sued the Attorney General of the Federation and the Department of State Service for 1 billion naira in damages for alleged rights violations. In his suit, the IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu claimed that the DSS and its Director General violated his right to a fair hearing by allegedly preventing his counsel from having unhindered interactions with him while he was being detained in preparation for his defense in his criminal trial. Justice Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence to sustain his claims that his interactions with his counsel were interfered with, that he was denied unhindered access to his lawyers, and that DSS officials eavesdropped on his conversations with his lawyers, which constituted a breach of his right to a fair hearing. INEC is intensifying engagement with National Assembly for activities that require legal reform to implement innovations and hasten administrative actions. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu stated this at an induction retreat for new resident electoral commissioners in Lagos. The INEC chairman reminded the new commissioners to address the recurring challenges in the areas of pre-election and post-election litigations, operational issues, especially in the area of logistics, improvements on voter education processes, issues of strategic communication and combating fake news, as well as application of technology in the process. The retreat, he noted, is holding against the background of forthcoming governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states, 5 pending by-elections this year and 4 major elections before the next general elections in 2027, including the Anambra, Ekiti, Osun states governorship elections and the FCT area council elections. The judiciary, as the third arm of government and an arbiter between the other arms, is expected to exhibit financial transparency. To achieve this, the 2024 Hybrid National Workshop on Managing Judicial Financial Resources is underway in Abuja. The convergence of the judicial financial managers from all judiciaries across the country on Abuja is to evolve the promotion of efficiency, uniformity and improvement in the quality of judiciary services, or judicial service rather, in the superior and lower courts. The 3-day training with the theme Strengthening Financial Transparency and Accountability in the Judiciary is meant to keep participants abreast of global best practices. Participants in the next 3 days will cross-fertilize ideas on budgeting, fraud prevention, and the deployment of the technology in financial management. The administrators, National Judicial Institute Justice Salisu Garba Abdullahi urged participants to be committed towards the attainment of efficient delivery of services to the litigants. And African petroleum regulators have committed to working together to overcome common challenges and make use of future opportunities towards achieving aspirations in the development and utilization of hydrocarbon resources. Lydia Sampson reports.
Africa holds substantial oil and gas reserves is not in doubt. The continent's proven oil reserves are estimated to be around 125 billion barrels, representing about 7 to 9% of the world's total oil reserves, while the proven natural gas reserves are estimated at around 620 trillion cubic feet, which is about 7 to 8% of the global total. Commission Chief Executive Officer NUPRC Benga Komala first optimism that the right collaboration is key to unlocking the potential of African oil and gas across the value chain brought these stakeholders together.
As we work together to lay a solid foundation for this forum, we are confident that APRIFED will provide significant opportunities for networking, knowledge sharing, and establishing strategic partnerships. By bringing together regulators from across the continent, we can create a conducive environment for investment, promote economic development, and enhance the sustainability of our petroleum sector.
Regulators from the continent are on the same page that the primary goal of promoting collaboration, knowledge sharing, and adoption of best practices across the continent for a secured energy future is critical.
My expectation is that Abuja Declaration will become a reference point for the work that we want to do. I believe that the forum will reach out to other African countries that have not been present here, because it's a good thing. I mean, we need to share experiences, we need to collaborate and ensure sustainability.
It's a very, very important forum because it's an opportunity for us, for instance, us smaller countries, to learn from our big brothers.
They are unanimous that faced with the rapidly evolving global energy landscape, it is imperative that Africa leverages its collective strengths to secure the appropriate energy source for the development and benefit of its people. The collaboration is also to harness Africa's potentials for green and blue hydrogen, solar, wind, biomass, and critical minerals for development of clean energy technologies. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
An unmanned aerial vehicle drone belonging to the Nigerian Air Force has crashed during routine operations in Kaduna, contrary to the reports that says in some media that it was the helicopter. The Nigerian Air Force later confirmed this in a statement citing the location to be Rumji village and not Tami, as reported in other media. The NAV also used the opportunity to call on the media not to be quick to rush to break news before getting the facts straight. NTA investigated by contacting sources on ground here in the location, including efforts to contact relevant Kaduna State government authorities and the local government area of Igabilu LGA where the incident occurred. You're still watching the news at 11 on NTA NEWS24. We'll be back with more report. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Jigawa State government clarifies on the recent farmers and herdsmen clash in Baranda and Bagadaza forests of Duse and Gwaram local government areas of the state. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the state government, through the Farmers and Herdsmen Board, says the situation has been brought under control and there is no loss of life.
Between farmers and herdsmen in Jigawa State has resulted to loss of lives and left many others injured. To set the record straight, the Jigawa State government, through the Farmers Herdsmen Board, in a press briefing says, although there was a clash and a few casualties were recorded as a result of a Fulani boy trespassing farmlands, there was no loss of life. The incidents happened at Baranda and Bagadaza villages in Dutse and Gwaram local government areas, and authorities have taken the necessary measures to tame the situation from escalating.
A committee was formed between the farmers, the local farmers within the area, and the herders that are living in the same area, so that a committee to sensitize the farmers to live together in a harmony was already formed by the state government. And there are some measures taken by the state government so that the blocked cut routes are going to be opened immediately by the board.
Recently, Governor Umar Namadi has issued a warning against farmers and herdsmen not to trespass into cattle routes and farmlands respectively, as well as illegal allocation of land to avoid these preventable clashes that may lead to loss of lives and property.
All lands allocated illegally stand revoked. So we are on that. And but when we set up a committee to go and ensure that all those lands are revoked and are demarcated. For grazing reserved and cattle routes, that revoking is still standing.
As it stands now, normalcy has returned to the two areas, with both farmers and herdsmen going about their daily activities. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Muslim parents have been reminded of the need to raise good and ideal children with the guidance of the Quran and Hadith. Islamic scholars gave the reminders that the grand finale of the Christian Muslim Organization's 18th International Youth Essay Competition 2024 in Abuja. Abdullah Ajia reports.
4 different distinct topics that connect issues of belief, religion and the contemporary society were brought forward, and the peg for the day's lecture series, where winners who competed in the essay writing competition emerged in the 4 categories, and Islamic scholars enlightened the audience on an ideal Muslim child, the impacts of social media on Muslim youth, holding on to Islam in a morally decadent society, and the effects of drug abuse and other realities in the lives of Muslim youth.
Our youth are into drugs, not only male youth, but even the female youth. Sometimes you find that if, for example, we allow this to continue, at the end of the day, we cannot have a sincere family, a strong family that can think for the betterment of this country. From Islamic perspective, anything that distracts, that destroys and distorts the mind is completely prohibited.
Of course, students in primary, secondary and tertiary institutions across the country competed for prizes while also sharing knowledge.
I'm fine, I'm happy to give thanks to Allah, my parents and my wonderful school.
I feel very happy and excited because I have never done it before, and my mom was happy and I was happy too.
The Crystal Muslim Organization, which started in 2006, was commended for championing Islamic propagation while equipping the youth with morals, mentorship and beneficial knowledge.
I'm here as the proud mother of a daughter who placed 2nd overall best in the 8th category. I think the schools are doing a good job of providing platforms for their students to learn to express themselves, both in writing, research, and then of course reading. You have to read before you research, and so I think that is a noble contribution towards the development of education in the country.
Winners received prizes for coming top in the essay competition. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
And now to security. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has announced a significant step in bolstering the safety of educational institutions across the nation. The Corps Commander of the National Safe School Response Coordination Center, Mohammed Abodirin, told participants at the annual conference at the Old Nigerian Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools that 10,000 school principals will undergo training and capacity building. The aim is to improve the security of schools and host communities in the face of the emerging security challenges. The spokesperson of the Corps, Afolabi Babawale, hinted that the training will be conducted free of charge, and it will include building the capacity of the leadership of the schools and based on basic child protection skills, information management, emergency response, and first aid application, among others. Now, he who men love, they celebrate, and he who they celebrate, a fulfilled man. One can therefore say this is what transpired when the Nigerian Custom organized parting reception for Aliyu Galadima Saidu, who retired as a Deputy Controller General of Customs. Kule Adeye reports.
A man who came, who saw, and who conquered.
From the testimonies of superiors, colleagues, and associates, Aliyu Saidu has penchant for excellence despite the rigid and rocky nature of safeguarding the borders and facilitating trade.
For somebody to grow through the ranks and become a Deputy Controller General of Nigerian Customs, he has achieved the peak of his career. Excellently, very well.
DCG Saidu Galadima is very unique in so many ways.
The love that emanates from that bond we share.
Consequently, the Chief Custodian of Nigeria's borders chronicled the contributions of the dogged officer who professionally introduced innovations that have remained indelible in the annals of the Nigeria Customs Service.
An officer whose professional competence cannot be doubted. Been very, very committed to everything he did. The people of Niger State, led by his executive governor, I saw them turning out in good numbers. And I'm happy that he has actually added a number of accolades to his growing recognition.
Having excelled in the terrain for 3.5 decades, Aliyu Galadima Saidu is out of service, but the quest for community development and spiritual matters are now his priorities.
I stand here today filled with a mix of emotions. There is a sense of accomplishment and excitement for the future, but also a thing of sadness as I leave behind a place and people that have meant so much to me over the years.
Unarguably, the Customs Service is officially ending ties with one of its finest officers. The card remains unbroken based on his antecedents that will be used as reference as the Galadima Nupe takes the final bow. Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
This is the news at 11 on NTA News 24. Before we go, a quick look at some of our top stories. Federal government terminates Obajana Benin Road contracts with 3 firms for non-performance. The Federal High Court dismisses Nnamdi Kanu's human rights suit against the federal government. The Nigerian Air Force refutes helicopter crash in Kaduna, confirms an unmanned aerial vehicle crashed after takeoff. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated the National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Senator Surajuddin Ajibola Basiru, on his birthday. A statement by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajirin Galali, describes Senator Surajuddin Ajibola Basir as a renowned legal expert and author. The President says in 2019 he was elected to represent Osun Central Senatorial District on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. At the Senate, he served as the chairman of the Committee on Diaspora, Non-Governmental Organizations and Civil Society, but was later appointed as the Senate spokesperson and chairman of the Committee on Media and Public Affairs. President Bola Tinubu prayed for many more years in good health for the APC National Secretary and his family. That concludes the news on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Charles Alpha.